Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we defeated a bunch of worms in the southern tunnels. We defeated a bunch of fungus in the fungal forest. We retrieved the last pieces that we needed from the old destroyed mechanical gate operating mechanism, and we have repaired this gate. We also were able to create some biocide grenades, and we used those as well to eliminate the biomass, which was on the front of that gate, sealing it shut. We're going to go upstairs and press that button and see if it will allow that gate to open. And assuming it does, we will go in and say hello to Chort. It is my intention to defeat Chort in this episode today. We will make one attempt to defeat Chort without solving the mutagen puzzle. I don't think my Gabriel is strong enough to defeat Chort in the time allotment before he will be killed. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's just because I remember how grueling it is, and I don't think this type of character has the DPS. He's as good DPS, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. We might get close, but then again, I think in the end it's not going to do it. But we'll still make the attempt. And if it's obvious that we cannot complete it, which I think will be the case, we'll do the mutagen puzzle, and then we'll do the battle again. And we should be successful after solving the mutagen puzzle. Alright, so with all that said, let's do this. And it is the next day as well, everyone. I really wanted to do this last night, but I was too tired, way too sleepy. And I turned in around, I think it was, what time did I go to bed? 10:30? Fell asleep around 11:30. Here we go, pressing the button. 100 experience points for pressing the button. And I was talking about this briefly, how I was wondering how lucky we were that there was no mutagen leaking in the other areas. And it looks like it's leaking all out through this area. Let's take a look in these places first. Standard bullets, nothing we need. Some gremlins, so might as well grab it, I guess. Some more bullets. Fuel. Mutagen Combinator Log Terminal. Notes. Exodus 1 and 2. Dr. David Gearhoff. Our team recently came across 2 reagents which have proven extremely toxic to all organisms which underwent artificial mutations. Preliminary results suggest that injecting any of these 2 reagents, which I have designated as Exodus 1 and Exodus 2, into the crucible, or using them on mutated organisms in any other way, will cause immediate and most likely fatal effects on exposed organisms. I have deleted the atomic sequences of both of these 2 reagents, deleted their entries from the current reagent cycle, and stored them in a safe place. One container of each of these 2 reagents will be used to map and possibly predict future reagent sequences, which could have negative effects. Dr. David Gearhoff, Mutant Tanks B, log 473, number HJ. I'm not done yet with this. Let's look at the logs. Access HECDB. Connecting. Error. Connection failed. Reagent list. Oh, and this is all the reagents, so you know which ones you might still need. What's in the medical locker? We don't need those. I'm glad that none of this mutagen that we're walking past and none of the corrosive stuff we've seen before can change us into a mutant. And even though we're right next to Chort, literally, we are actually not going to... he can't affect us in this room. Suddenly, something tightens deep inside your chest and stomach, and you are frozen in place. An overwhelming fear pours over you, and you feel your jaw tightening, your heart racing, and your knees getting weak. It takes all your mental power not just to collapse on the floor. The sensation lasts for minutes, and you refuse to give in. Eventually, it starts subsiding. It is as if you can feel the fear traveling through your nerves and out of your skin, dissipating in the air around. The only way I can relate to that is probably something similar to a massive panic attack. Ooh, 166 insulating foam. We'll grab that. Alright, let's look at the glass. It's too bloody and dirty to see through clearly, but it appears this room overlooks a big cavern. The mutagen reagent storage, everyone. Oh, I meant to take all those reagents I left down in the mechanical... in the gate mechanism. I just left all of them there. Isn't that funny? That's pretty funny. It doesn't matter. We have to come back in this area anyway if I want to solve the mutagen puzzle. So these 4 reagents need to be scanned, and I need to rescan IO3. So we'll take these, and we'll do all these scans if we are unable to defeat Chort right now. So I'm going to save the game. I should technically save it over something different. We'll save it here anyway. Okay, everyone. Time to fight Chort. Let's see if I'm powerful enough to defeat him without doing the mutagen puzzle. Let's also make sure I have everything I could possibly want in effect on me. And to that end, I think that's the only little thing I can use. What type of shield do I have? The efficient. That's fine. All right, everyone. Let's do this. It is Shadow we expected. We have been starving ourselves for days in hopes he would come for his prize. Such a heavenly feast it would be, a storm of senses at the break of abstinence. The flesh of the High Ones, so opulent, their thoughts clear and brisk waters from ancient glacial currents. But I see now that he will not dare face us. And instead, we got you, another mangy rail rat. Trash-digging, foul-smelling, ugly, dysgenic mongrel. But alas, we have not eaten for a while, so we must make do. Come, little one. Let us take you down the corridors of pain. Take heart, for on the other side, a greater destiny awaits. You must descend to become exalted. Proudly rise to submission. Come, join your river into our sea, and become the flesh of a god. The ladder becomes electrified, and you are not allowed to crawl up it any longer. Where's my Twitch? Oop, too late. Okay, so how this battle works. So we have multiple ways. Oh, my shield was in effect the entire time. So 1 second, everyone. I'll be right back. I love the music to this area. It's very thematic. Okay, everyone. So, how this works. So first off, I reloaded the game, because if I'm going to make an attempt at killing Chort without doing the mutagen puzzle, I really need every single ounce of shield power I can muster. Starting with half my shield is terrible. Next, let's describe Chort for a bit. Here he is here. He's got 2,000 hit points. That's not so insurmountable when you stop to think about it. Gabriel could run up, critical hit him like 3 or 4 times in a row and win, just like that. However, we have these tentacles to deal with. Each of these tentacles uses a different type of effect to damage us. It's been a while since I've seen all 7 functioning. One uses cryo attacks, psychic attacks. One acts as a heavy machine gun. Another, I think, sends out acid. And I don't remember the other 4 very well. I think one of them is like an energy pulse. Another one, I think, is electricity. And I don't remember what the last 2 do. I think one might be another, like, mind psionic attack, for example. Oh, and I think one makes biolocations, if I recall correctly. In addition to the tentacles will they'll disappear and they'll show up in different places. They work very similar to the worms that we saw before. And unlike the worms, after we destroy a tentacle, it will begin to regenerate, even though it's destroyed. Similar to the fungal turrets we saw down in the fungal forest. After like 3 or 4 turns, they'll pop back up, ready for combat again, back at full life. In fact, we can see this one actually has purple, so that one must use psychic attacks. So there are 3 psychic attackers. So I think one is cryo, one is mind attacks, and I don't remember I think the last one is just biolocation. In addition to these tentacles bothering you, there will be chortlings spawning throughout this area, so I will need to deal with the chortlings as well. You have 2 choices when it comes to Chort. Rush him and attempt to down him. Now, he and his tentacles, by the way, regenerate 200 hit points a round, I believe. With Garrett, I think I was able to get him to half his hit points, maybe 2/3, before Garrett was simply out of adrenaline, out of any of the special things he had to give him more action points, and at that point, he was healing just as much damage as Garrett was dealing. And so I was not able to kill Chort directly. In addition to all these tentacles were just hammering into Garrett, and Chortling showed up, and it was just game over. Now, if you don't think you can kill Chort with his regeneration in effect, you have another option. There are these mutagen tanks. I think there's 3 of them. Oh, 4. There's 4 mutagen tanks in the area. Every time you destroy a mutagen tank, it reduces the amount of healing that the tentacles and the eye will receive by 50 points. So if you think you can get through Chort's massive regeneration via him only be covering 100 hit points, half his rate. And by the way, the tentacles are the same. They'll take longer to respawn, I believe, if you destroy the tanks. Then rush the tanks and try to destroy them as quickly as possible. We're going to attempt to destroy Chort flat out and see if I have the DPS and the damage resistance to get to him and defeat him without needing to do any of the other tanks. Now, if it's pretty obvious we can't do it, we'll still let Gabriel die in our attempt, and then we'll reload here, and we will attempt to destroy the tanks, and then go back to the eye and destroy him again. If it looks like that's just not possible, I'll stop the attempt, we'll reload from up above, and we will solve the mutagen puzzle. And we'll describe what the mutagen puzzle does after we make this attempt. So let's get started. So we need to rush the Eye of Chort. We're going to sprint, take a jumping bean, and then I want to use all my movement. And we could go after this tentacle to destroy it. It would get it. Maybe we should do that. Let's see how difficult the tentacles are. Just not enough. The Mouth of Chort, I don't think has any special abilities whatsoever, so we're going to try to ignore him. I don't think he does. He's just, as you can see, he's an experiment, similar to what the Chortists were working on up above. We're just going to ignore the rest of these. And move. I think that's good enough. Oh, they can reach me from over there. I need to charge my hammer. So let's stop for a tiny bit. And end the turn again. Okay, let's recharge the hammer. And we'll take a morphine. Actually, let's run up now. We're now in full view of everything. So this is where it's going to get really tough. Let's take that morphine shot. And next turn, we'll begin hammering the eye. I should probably take the focus stim now as well. Oh, we have a super soldier drug. How long does that last for? 4 turns? We'll wait and take it next turn. Okay, everyone, this is it. If we can't, if it's obvious we can't defeat Chort with what we're about to do, we'll let's give it our best try, Tim. So the first thing we want to do here is have that super soldier drug. Okay, and now we begin working the body. We could also take some vitality powder, but I don't know if I want to be exhausted. So we'll hold off on this at the moment. We might use it next round. Oh my god, we may win? We took him down over 50% in one round of combat there. Next round we'll use a vitality powder. Let's see how much he regenerates at the end of this round. Oh wow! Okay, let's risk it. So let's have the vitality powder for +4 more strength. Actually, yes, let's do it. You sure, Tim? I'm sure. It's all or nothing. Oh my god. Holy freaking crap. We did it! Wow! And it was easy! Wow. Wow. We 3-rounded Chort, so he was arguably tougher than, and we might have gotten lucky enough. I just needed an extra crit. We might have gotten lucky enough to actually 2-round him, just like everything we fought in the arena. So we killed the toughest thing in the game. And I didn't even have to do the Mugen puzzle. How about that? We have to wait till combat ends before we can really take anything here. So we have to wait for the doppelganger to go away. We'll I think we'll stay here. Well, we could still die, by the way, because there's scanners and what have you around. Come on, game. Wow. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. So I don't even have to explain the Mugen puzzle. So I'll tell you what it does. The Mugen puzzle destroys 4 of the tentacles. That's all it does. But that's still extremely useful if you are having trouble getting past with all 7. Like, that was enough. Well, even though I destroyed those, even though I destroyed 4 of the tentacles, Garrett still could not kill Chort with 3 tentacles around quick enough. He regenerated too many hit points. So then I went to the tanks and destroyed them. Then I think I destroyed 3 of the 4. I might have destroyed all 4. And then I came after Chort and was able to kill him at that point without too much trouble. But it did require some reloading because of all the respawns that happened. Wow. Gabriel, you were really impressive. Most of the commands on this console are written in a language unknown to you. There's 2 you managed to make out, however. Disable ladder electric field. Electric field disabled. Enable secondary elevator power. Secondary elevator power enabled. Leave. The cube. This must be the single weirdest item you've ever held. First of all, the cube is not a cube at all. It's an irregular polyhedron. On most polygon faces, there's a symbol. Some symbols are simple, and some are complex. The most recurring patterns in them are crosses, often taking the central position, with other symbols being placed around them. Filled and empty circles, brackets, and something that resembles the letter M, or maybe W. On some faces, there are slots of irregular shapes. The cube itself is very light and pleasantly smooth to the touch. What makes the object especially strange is the illusion of flatness it gives off when you direct your eyes towards its imaginary center for long enough, while simultaneously the polygon faces on the edges of the projection appear curved. I can't believe we did it. So Gabriel has significantly more DPS than Garrett had. And his shield, Tim. His shield and your use of all your amazing drugs helped you reach him. The fact that you had some vitality powder, I think, helped right there. Strength +4 at the very end. Amazing. So there's nothing else here. There's nothing else for us to interact with. No Chortling spawn, so you don't have to worry about them. The Chortlings all go insane and begin attacking everything, each other as well. And I think they also slowly lose life, and then they fade out of existence. So I'll be right back, everyone. I also want to check the recording of my voice really quick to make sure everything came out okay. Oh, nope, here's a scanner, and they're not losing life. Let's get back up here then. I can still die! I can still die to scanners. All it will take is 2 of them finding me, and I'm dead pretty much that round. Alright, so I guess we'll leave you here. We don't even need that. We didn't need the Recombinator. This build, everyone! I believe it's been linked in the description for all my videos for a while. I probably should update it to what Gabriel currently has. So I'll be right back again, everyone. As I mentioned, I want to check on my voice to make sure everything came out okay during that battle. Sounds okay, despite the fact I was shouting or talking rather loudly. The music in my headset is very loud, but on the recording it's not. Alright, well, Chort's dead, everyone. So much for the hive mind, or whatever demon like a Nurgle that was. Holy crap. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, given the trouble I had with Garrett, how simple that was. Okay, well, let's go ahead and deliver the cube to the Faceless. A familiar figure stands before you, addressing you without delay. Give us the cube. It's all yours. Hand him the cube. The faceless carefully takes a cube from your hands. One of the soldiers hands him a metal box in which he places the cube, closing it soon after. We have no more business with you. He stops speaking, letting silence take over. As he observes you, as they all observe you, you begin to feel uneasy. However, your worry will soon prove to have been unjustified. He produces a strange medallion and hands it to you. This is for you. You are now free to leave. How do I get out of here? There's an elevator southwest of Hollow Earth. It is the only functional one that we know of. Nod and remain silent. The faceless nods, during which the soldiers behind him move almost simultaneously and pass through the gate behind you one by one. The towering faceless is the last to do so. You can fight them, you can kill them. Actually, Gabriel could probably, having defeated Chort as easily as I was able to do so, I might have been able to take on all of them somewhat easily as well. However, big spoiler here, everyone. Skip ahead like 2 minutes if you don't want to hear it. You ready? If you still have the cube on you when you take the elevator, I believe 6 materializes in that elevator and kills you. There is nothing you can do to stop it. He then takes the cube and I believe gives it to the faceless for you. If you want to ask the faceless more questions, they refuse to answer anymore. They've done all the answering they wanted to do earlier. And now that the Eye of Chort isn't on us any longer, there's no creeping dread, and there will be no more Chortlings. I believe you can feel free to pillage the remainder of the location here as much as you'd like for anything that might be left behind. I think we'll visit our storage. So, I expected, by the way, the battle against Chort to fail. I was kind of thinking that if I could reach the fusion tanks, I might be able to kill him easily. Even though all 7 tentacles were still around. Did they weaken him a little bit? Okay, and we can't take that elevator up. Maybe, did they weaken him in a recent patch? I don't think they did. I think he's been exactly the same since I was there with Garrett. Was he tougher before as well? I don't know. I'm surprised that was so simple. I'm surprised that was so simple. I can't believe how well that went. I really can't. But then again, I am using probably the most amazing Thunderhammer ever created in the instance of this game. So there is that. Let's also have some more food. Did I crit during the battle at all? Against Chort itself, the Eye? I don't think I did. Because I think a single crit, and I missed one of my attacks. I think a single crit would have probably solidified my victory in my head around even earlier. Because we would have crit from like 800 damage. We had exposed weakness on him as well, which was really flippin' handy. With Garrett, I think I missed like 3 times of my 95% chances to attack each round of combat as well. God, I absolutely loathe the RNG in this game. But in some cases. Alright, well, I expected the entire process here to take an extra 40 minutes. So, we'll take the things from our camp here, some of the things I want to bring with me. We'll go back up home. We'll do some inventory management, we'll fight in the arena, and then I think we'll end the entire game in this episode, everyone. So, what do I want? I'll want that. Where's my prednisone solution? So I'm taking all of that with me. don't really need any... I guess we'll take the taurine as well. I made so much adrenaline. I guess we'll take that too. The rest of the stuff we don't need. I still have more inventory space left. Let's make sure... Is there anything else over here I want? Guess I should take all these parts. Oh, nice. We still have plenty of leftover space. Let's pay a visit to our other lockers. We don't need any of that. Oh, I had more power cells down here. I thought what I had on me was the last of it. Okay, well, there's no reason for me to leave any of this stuff down here. What mementos do I want from my time spent down here? I should take that back. I would like this back. And the rest of it can stay. I don't have the inventory space to carry any more with me. I guess I don't need the Tichrome armor. I don't plan to fight any coil spiders and, well... We'll bring this with me. And then we go back to where we killed the burrowers, past the side beetles. We may have another battle down there to do. And that's it. Holy crap. Unbelievable. I just can't believe it. So, let's talk about a few choices. Sure, let's talk about a few choices I did not make when it comes to playing the game, because we're at the end. We're at the end of it now. You'll note that I didn't go after... There's an item you can get in the... they're back. Okay. Okay, this is acceptable. Let's run over here. Still need to be careful. We can still die from being overwhelmed by psychic powers, especially. Let's just move away a little bit. He'll get stunned, but he has like 7 projections around him. 5. I think I would... One more round. I'm gonna let them all get closer, and we'll throw a grenade at them instead. That's acceptable. All right, let's move down here. Toss this, which should kill the little ones. Heavily almost all the little ones, and heavily damage the big ones. We'll move back again a bit. We'll have another jumping beam for next round to help me get closer. And I can reach this one. We saw... Oh, I thought there was one other big one. Alright, cool. That wasn't so bad. Recharge the shield while I'm here. Recharge our hammer as well. This also might mean the burrowers are back, but I don't think we have to stop by and say hello to them. Oh, you know? One second. I didn't even attempt this last time. Let's go back and talk to Leo. Maybe we can tell him that Chort is defeated. I just left with Garrett. I never thought to go back to Leo and talk to him again. So we'll do that. We'll just talk about some things. So there's an item that you can get in the DLC. I think it's called the Ethereal Torch, if I recall correctly. I didn't even bother to get it. The Ethereal Torch is basically it's like I believe it does similar damage to a plasma grenade, only there is no, it's not consumed on use. You have to charge it with power, batteries basically. And so it's, I kind of view it as being overpowered. It does trivialize a great deal of the game, or can, because groups of enemies become very, like, the first thing you do when even two things are clumped together is you use the Ethereal Torch, because it does so much damage. As you've seen from our plasma grenades, they can bring one of those big side beetles down to a fourth of its life with a single grenade. So I didn't bother to get it. On normal, I don't feel like it's a required item to have. Not by any stretch of the imagination. At least not for Gabriel's build. And I also think you guys would probably enjoy watching Gabriel utilize his sledgehammer build to the end. Because my character shouldn't be a build up until the Ethereal Torch, and then my build becomes use the Ethereal Torch as much as possible. I want you guys to... I want us to play Gabriel as the Thunderhammer wielding Space Marine that I designed him to be at the very beginning of this playlist. I didn't use many grenades during the battle against Chort right there, because my thought was that, well, if we get bunches of Chortlings trying to interrupt me, I may need to throw a plasma to deal with them. So I didn't bother throwing a plasma at any of the tentacles. I also think a single plasma grenade would not be enough to destroy the tentacles. I would need a second. And they would regenerate all the damage I would deal basically in between the rounds before I'd be able to throw another grenade, so it was kind of useless to throw them. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Gabriel? Gabriel. I've activated one of the elevators that leads out of deep caverns. Would you like to come with me? He stares blankly at us. I said, would you like to come with me? Get out of here. He shakes his head and answers, no. If you ever change your mind, go to the elevator by the lake. He quietly nods. I'm not going to pressure him. I think the way Gabriel would act is he's like, okay, he wants to stay down here, that's fine. I'll just let him know how to get out of here if he decides to do so, if he wants to do so. Yeah, my goodness. I still can't believe we killed Chort without having to do this. The mutagen puzzle. All that time collecting all the mutagen reagents, I didn't even need to do that. Well, you practically have to explore every inch of deep caverns anyway, even if you don't plan to do the mutagen puzzle, because you need to plate the pieces to repair the gate and the fungus, the mitocardia, in order to destroy the biomass. Oh, we could go and look at the Faceless camp. The Faceless are gone. There's nothing in the camp whatsoever, and the girl, Terry, is also not there. I believe the Faceless have delivered her to Southgate Station. You can see the Faceless patrols are also no longer here. I think the reason why, by the way, the Faceless were so cold to us, given that they seemed a bit happier to see us earlier, is that I think that encounter, when they show up right after Chort, I think that plays out the same way if you were hostile with the Faceless, or if you were friendly with them. I don't think it matters, no matter, I think they act the same way there. And thus, they also clear out and leave you alone. Though you might be inclined, if you have been hostile with them, to finish them off. I wonder if there were any gaunts there as well, besides just the ones we saw. Alright, now these side beetles should not have respawned. And the first stop will be home. We will deliver the goods that we have with us to our various containers. And then I think we will try. I should have, I think, one macrophage, maybe? I think I have one of it, so we can make a super soldier drug to make up for, or regenerative mixture? I can make one of the drugs. Maybe two of them. So we'll do that, and we'll see what it takes chemistry-wise to create it. A familiar shape materializes before you. You are startled, but as your previous encounter had shown, his presence, no matter how unexpected or intimidating, does not mean danger. Once more, a displaced voice addresses you. Chort is no more, and the cube has been returned to the Faceless. You were right. The only way for me to leave Deep Caverns was to kill Chort. I was correct, and the two of us meet again. Other events await my, or should I say our, participation. That is why I am here. I am looking for someone who pretends to be one of your kin, but is not. Hadrian Tanner, as he calls himself. Just as your lips separate to sound the most obvious question, you hear the answer precede it. Tanner must die. And few but myself can make sure that occurs. I am a powerful being, and so is he. We are the same kin, yet he conceals it better. The reasons should be obvious. What did he do to deserve death? He committed a crime. What crime? That does not concern you. So you need me to get to him. No. Tanner is no longer in Southgate Station. He knows I am after him, and if I am correct, he should be on his way to North Underrail. Our events are connected. Yours, Tanner's, mine. I do not know why, but I do know that such is the case. As I saw you being an essential participant in the destruction of Chort, perhaps you are also an actor of similar importance in Tanner's. Or even in other events. It's an option I would be foolish to disregard. After our conversation comes to an end, I will travel to North Underrail after him. I would recommend you do so too. All the destruction that emerged from events we have witnessed is a consequence of his actions, in one way or the other, and his actions are unlikely to deviate from the norm. If you want to prevent similar events from occurring, then North Underrail should be your next destination. You will be able to find me in a place called Hexagon. Ask for 6. He is a dangerous individual, and if you are right, he better be stopped. I will go to North Underrail. Good. The Faceless blockade is no more, so the railroad should be unobstructed. He stops speaking, his lenses surveying your expression. Ask while you can. What can you tell me about Tanner? His power is not far from my own, even though, because of his deceptive nature, he is reluctant to reveal it. He hid from me over the course of many events under different pseudonyms. Every time I revealed him, he vanished. Why won't he fight you? Has he ever tried? No. He is powerful, but not as much as I am. Are you sure he hasn't found a way to increase his power somehow? He tried, but I do not allow him, as you are able to see. You say Tanner is pretending to be one of us. You don't seem to care about concealing your appearance. No. Why? It would be meaningless for me to do so. Deception is not what I want. What is Tanner's real name? I will not reveal that. You told me yours. Yes. Names hold power. I revealed mine because it was necessary. Revealing Tanner's is not. Maybe in some different event. You say your mission was to kill Tanner, yet you let him get away so that you can ensure Chort was destroyed. Why? I already told you. It is something I knew was most important. But you didn't know why. Why put so much effort into it when you aren't sure? I was sure it needs to be destroyed. I was not sure why. There is a difference. I cannot explain these things to you even if I wanted to. Your language is incomplete. We did learn from Chort that it was hoping for the flesh or the mind of a higher one. So it has obviously, I think, consumed at least one of these people before. So maybe it was gaining more and more power and might have rivaled all of these people at some point. But it wasn't able to beat a level 29 Thunderhammer. What are you, and where are you from, 6? I come from far away. That is the best answer I can give you. It is the only one you will be able to understand. As for what I am, the things you see will be enough of an answer. Chort referred to you as a High One. What does that mean? It is an archaic term, a distant thought. It does not describe me, but it speaks volumes about this particular manifestation. Are you one of the Godmen? This is what we learned from Oculus. I am not sure what that term means. If it is something you heard from Azif, then know that his knowledge is limited, even more so than he thinks. Far away. Where? You would not understand it, and you do not need this information. Very well. Thank you, Raumbra. I have nothing else to ask you. Good. Then our conversation is done, Gabriel. No talking during the elevator approach. No talking. Okay. And here's a portal we activated a long time ago. Let's use some juice. And... oh, we didn't touch this one yet. Attune ourselves to the rift. You fix your eyes on the rippling energies of the rift and focus your mind on it. You can almost feel your consciousness flowing from your forehead into the rift on the wave of juice. For a brief moment, with a deafening shriek, your mind is flooded with countless images, all indiscernibly mushed up into mental white noise. You snap out of it with a gasp. You see the rift more clearly now. It beckons you closer. Alright, we go home. Oh, we're gonna have his body down here the entire time. I guess the bloodstain would be here even if he was not. Alright, so, first things first. Welcome home. Welcome home. Let's go back upstairs. And we'll put our armor that we no longer need here. We'll store our amazing old shock Tiachrome sledgehammer and the phase gun. All nice reminders of our time spent in lower Underrail. I think we'll also put our Psimorphic Biocide grenades in here. Next, I was hoping we would see eventually reach this location again. we'll be fine. Actually, we should probably take another... Actually, no, we will be fine with 4, Tim. We're not going to do very much more in the game. How's our armor holding up? It's in good shape. It did... It looks like it healed us a little bit. Let's go ahead and recharge it. Okay, so I don't need these. Our armor is practically fine. We don't need any more repairs. We don't need this. I don't care about a flare, the compass. It's probably stored here. We don't need any of the keys we've been picking up. So that would be all of that. We're going to hold on to that medallion. We actually know about Azif. We should actually read about this first. Faceless medallion. Imprinted upon this medallion is a circle split in 4 with the X symbol, with perpendicular serifs. The medallion seems to be made of some material resembling rough stone in texture, but lacking its weight and frigidness. Let's go ahead and go downstairs and store all this stuff, and then what are we doing? So I think we'll fight in the arena first, then we'll go to Azif, and we'll see if he knows about what that medallion is. Following that, we will go to the dude and talk to him. We learned he was down there in the deep caverns. And finally we'll beat the game. And we'll have one more episode after this, everyone. And in that episode, I will give a review on Underrail. I don't think I gave a solid review last time, so I'll give one this time. And we'll talk about Gabriel's build and what I thought of it compared to what I had done with Garrett. 153 galvanic vest. That's incredible. So first, yes, all this is required. I must store all the delicious parts in the proper places. All this goes here. We have more metal. 162, 94, 87. Those are from the Nagas, if I recall correctly. 166. That was much better than a 104 I had earlier. And then back here, by the way, what's my effective skill level? Oh, a 192. Holy crap. Almost nothing I can't make. And do I know how to make a Hypercerebrix? I do. So I could... Oh, this is easy to... Oh, yeah, this is easy to make. So I can definitely get to 200. So if in the future they ever release another DLC for this game that continues Gabriel's story, I will have the opportunity to actually use Gabriel to do so. Oh, we have a quality 150 here. I'm just going to be moving all my high-level things around. We could make a better shield than our current efficient one, but I think we'll be okay. Those, we have plenty of grenades. Oh, didn't I want to see what the... Do I have any scopes? I don't think I have a single scope on me. I do have scopes. So what would this have looked like, all told? Because we looked at this together, I think, some time ago. There it is. Level 29! Oh my god! 41 through 83 damage. This would have been the weapon for... whatchamacallit? For Garrett. His crossbow would have been this. Look at that. 41 through 83 damage with plus 10% precision. You know what? I'm gonna make that now. Okay, so I guess I don't need to make any drugs. I don't need to do it because I have plenty on me, and we're only doing, I think, probably one more battle, unless I'm badly mistaken. Oh, but I wanted to... Nah, I'm not... Do I even have it? Don't even know what I'm looking for. I do. Macrophage fluid, 12 of it. 12 of it? Interesting. Okay, so... Why not, Tim? Why not make some super soldier drug? Let's see. So if or was it the regenerative mixture? Where are you? It was the generator mixture. And I would need other things that I put in here already. This is taking too long, I hear you say? You're right, this is taking too long. Let's just put all this stuff in here. Flash fluid, go back in here. Still carrying around some of this stuff. Bro, I'm carrying around all those silly psychic improvers. Let's go ahead and we'll just leave them here. Okay, now that I know they're weighing me down, it's going to annoy me to carry them. Okay, and we're done with that. Let's eat some food. And let's head over to the arena. I'm still carrying the crossbow, Tim. I am. I guess I'll hold on to it. All 3.35 pounds. All the weight I got rid of by turning in the psychic amplifiers. So let's use our conservative shield, because we're about to fight the Dreadlord. And I remember a long conversation happening in advance, but I want the shield ready to go, so it might be able to absorb some damage from him. Just like what happened with Chort, we saw that some time passed during the monologue, and it counts as real time in the game. So your shield gets drained while that's happening. It's probably not gonna work, but we'll have some Twitch. Turn this on. Talk to Lunesta. Here to cause you more carnage, Savage Mangler? I'm ready to battle Dreadlord. This is it, Gabriel. The time has come for you to become the Invictus. I'm not gonna give you some cliche speech before the match, just gonna say this. Get in there and dominate. Dear bloodthirsty maniacs, welcome to what is about to be one of the greatest, most anticipated matches in recent history. I know you've been waiting for this quite impatiently, dear maniacs. Some of you here are in person. Some are watching over Arena Now. I'll use this as a screenshot for the episode. We want a bloodbath tonight, and these two will surely deliver it. The thumbnail. I don't want to reveal that I killed Chort one round. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's introduce our gladiators. He is unstoppable, undefeatable, unkillable. All who stood before him so far have been turned into a bloody pulp. Please welcome the current Invictus, Dreadlord. I don't think Dreadlord will be showing up anytime soon. Moving around seems a bit difficult if one's head is not attached. Ah, Savage Mangler. We meet again, this time in the arena. Gary, I expect a hardcore match. I was really enthusiastic about this fight with you. I got bored of the same fodder dropped at my feet time and time again. Yawn. But you are a worthy opponent for Carnifex. Do not disappoint me, Savage Mangler. And don't make me regret coming back from retirement. What? Where is Dreadlord? What the hell is going on? Will someone tell me? What? He's dead? In his changing room? I know we're live. Tell me what to do. Yeah, I understand. Maniacs! As you can see, there have been some changes. Carnifax is making a comeback from his retirement. This great gladiator, if not the greatest in arena history, will be fighting Savage Mangler. What can one say now when a situation as exciting as this one? Give us a bloodbath! % chance to hit only. Time for you to get zoned out. Wow. We're getting badly beat up. I can't hit him as long as we are intimidated. His adrenaline will run out next turn. I think we just want to avoid him for a tiny bit of time. Oh, I thought I had a regenerative mixture on me. Do I not? I do. I hate being crippled so much. Strength is by 6. This is why I can't actually hit him, and I'm stunned. And we're stunned. Oh. Thank goodness. That was actually tough. I missed the nets, I missed the pummels, but thankfully we hit him with 3 times? With 368% chances to hit. And Carnifex is down. 3 rounds there, is that right? Or 4 rounds. He was actually kind of more dangerous than even Short was. All thanks to being crippled. Oh, but we still had enough strength. We still had enough strength to wield our hammer effectively. Maniacs, I can't believe what my eyes are seeing! Carnifax is... he's dead! The greatest gladiator is dead! After more than 200 bloody matches, he gave us one more, his last one. This can mean only one thing. Savage Mangler is the new Invictus. Let me hear you, maniacs. The new Invictus rises. Rises! Woo! He chewed through 400 points of shields. He probably wouldn't have killed us if things played out the same. I didn't have the shield, but that was really close. That was really close. Well, not as close as I'm making it, but it was close. And I don't know why I'm charging this, because we're probably not doing any more combat. Let's go ahead and talk to Lanesta first. We will put on this shield instead. Let's see what he was using. Pneumatic reinforced steel gloves. Level 18 weapon. I'll take that to remember him by. Level 18 anti-thermic tabby boots. I'll take the morphine as well. Wow, wow, wow! I have no idea what to say. Carnifex, what? When? You killed my favorite gladiator. Look at me. I'm completely bamboozled. What you did was amazing, brutal, hardcore. And I guess I'm gonna have to get used to calling you Invictus now. Damn it, Carnifex. You got dominated. He hands you 1,000 Stygian coins. Congratulations. This is your reward, Invictus. Thank you, Lanesta. I appreciate it. What happens now? Well, I can try to arrange some fights for you, but there is nothing available at the moment. Few are willing to fight the Invictus, and considering you dominated a fair number of the top gladiators in such a short time, you get some rest and enjoy your success for a while. Time for new matches will come, don't worry. See you later, Lanesta. Oh, he tore our armor. It tore right into that. Did it activate? It actually activated for 1 round and healed us a tiny bit too. Being incapacitated, was that 2 or 3 rounds in a row? That's pretty frustrating. And it seemed like he had a 50% incapacitate rate, so he must be using some special abilities that we don't have access to normally. Because normally, that incapacitate with cheap shots is a 15% chance. Either he got extremely lucky, or I think the odds are tilted in his favor for incapacitates. Good day, Invictus. Go right in. The indestructible Avenger has been killed! Come on, man. Zone out! Damn it! Why did I bet on Dreadlord? Ugh! Next stop, Azif. Or the dude. Either one of them will work. As my juice just expires, so let's go ahead and have more of it. What a grand day this is already turning out to be. It's already 11 o'clock, practically. But I'm glad to have gotten as much progress today as I am. We're about to beat this game. So let's go... Oh, to Oculus. Let's go right to Oculus. I forgot we found this waypoint right here in their location, in their base. And can Azif tell me about this medallion? I am curious if he will be able to. Yes. See you later. No, he can't. Phyllis, can you do so? No. To the dude's cave home. Where is the medallion turned into? Dude raises his brew to greet you. How's it going, man? Dude, are you familiar with the name John Dyson? Dude remains silent, staring at an empty bottle of brew in his hand. Dr. John Dyson, a biocorp scientist, head of psionic research and development at Hollow Earth, Deep Caverns. Still silent. Are you okay? He lets his head drop even further, almost pressing it onto his empty bottle as his unwashed hair falls over his face like a veil. An instant passes. A tear falls and quiet sobbing reaches your ear. More tears follow, gathering at the bottom of the bottle and merging it into one whole. His sobbing gets louder and louder until he raises his head and reveals a dewed beard and droopy, trembling lips. He wants to speak, and you give him all the time he needs. A few moments later, he wipes his tears, and then... Why is there no more brew in my bottle? Why do horrible things happen to good people? Man. He drops the empty bottle and rubs his eyes. After reopening them, though, he looks at the bottle, shrugs, picks it up, and drinks all his collected tears in a single gulp. So, what were you saying, man? Are you John Dyson? No, I'm the dude, man. You should, pay attention to other people's names. He gets another bottle, opens it, and smiles. Yeah, it's kind of rude, man. Cheers. So, let's now go to Southgate Station. Oh, Tim, you did something that you shouldn't. You should never do that. Be right back again, everyone. Sorry. So what I'm doing is that I'll be right back. I'll explain it when I'm back. Okay, everyone. Yeah. So sometimes to make room for things on the side of my monitor, I move the Underrail window. When that happens, the game seems to pause briefly, and I'm worried that at that moment I'm going to have recording issues. So I'll cut the recording whenever I do that and come back. Alright, we're here for Tanner. Actually, we know Tanner is not even here. Right? We were told by 6 that he's not here. But let's go to the cantina anyway and take a peek and see if he is indeed gone. Oh, he won't be needing those credits, I suppose. Hacking 0. Very low. Oh, but still, if you had electronics, you could probably start the game being able to make a laser pistol if you were able to find a way to hack these boxes without Tanner noticing. So Tanner is not here. So let us stop by. Actually, maybe we have a hint as to where we're supposed to go. Let's see. Oh, we killed Iran. He wasn't in the bar. Looks like this quest is going to be sitting in Core City forever. Maybe we can go to that bar anyway and talk to the guy who tells us he was here looking for us. Talk to the counselors. Okay, so we will go to the administration level then and talk to Vera. We know Gorski isn't here, right? He is over in Core City. From the moment you stepped into the room, Vera's eyes were fixed on you. However, you are aware that the worried look is not only due to your lengthy absence. Gabriel, I'm so glad that you are alive. After we heard Protectorate forces were moving towards Institute de Chort and not hearing from you for so long, we became really worried. Nod. I'm sure you want to rest, and I wouldn't want to delay it any longer, but something happened. Tanner disappeared. I know. She pauses. So, the word is already out. Tell me about Tanner's disappearance. He left his office some time ago, and no one has seen him since. No one saw him leave through any of the station's exits, like he vanished. This has never happened before. So many things are happening around South Underrail, and his disappearance worries me. Vera looks at you as if wanting to say something, but that statement seems like it has been replaced by a different one. We still haven't checked his room. Since you are here, I think it best you do it. No problem, Vera. I will do it. Usually I would approach Gorski with these kinds of things, but since he is still in Core City, that leaves you as the one I would trust the most with something this important. What do you want me to do? See Ezra. He will let you into Tanner's room. Keep your eyes open and try to find anything at all which might shed some light on what he's going on here. On my way. Good. Meanwhile, I think it's time I assemble the console. Return to me once you and Ezra inspect Tanner's room. See if Ezra is here. I can't remember if he's actually in front of Tanner's room. He's not. Okay. Hey, Ezra. Ezra looks at you with his one good eye and speaks in his usual calm and even fashion. Have you spoken to Vera? Yes. That's why I'm here. I'm ready to go to Tanner's room. Ezra presents the key card to Tanner's room. Follow me. There. I will wait here while you inspect Tanner's room. You do that. I'm going to take a look inside. And be cautious. Just in case. Do you know something I don't? If I did, I would have told you by now. Right. Going inside. Nice room. Nice double bed, some shelves. And a strange picture that seems to be fluctuating slightly. You stare at the odd picture in front of you. Its seemingly solid surface is occasionally shifting before your very eyes, and soon you begin to wonder if it's solid at all. Touch it. As your hand comes closer to touching this picture, Ezra's words of caution pass through your mind. You ignore them. A warm sensation pulses through your fingers as they meet the surface and vanish in it. They feel as if you are pushing them through a viscous fluid, and they also feel distant. Pull your fingers out. As you pull your fingers out, the warm feeling disappears. Put our arm through the picture. Slowly, your arm disappears up to the elbow. The warm sensation now travels all the way to your shoulder and slowly proceeds further, creating a feeling similar to blood flowing into a numb limb, but more intense. However, after holding this pose for a few more moments, the warmth begins to dissipate, and your arm feels gone. Your mind begins to panic, screaming for the severed limb, and pain becomes excruciating. Pull the arm out. You frantically yank your arm out and inspect it. It still remains attached to your relief, and it bears no sign of damage. In an instant, the warm feeling is gone, and so is the pain. Go through the picture. You push your whole body through the picture, and for a brief moment it felt like you swam through thick, warm liquid. Yet you are clean. You feel no pain, and you find yourself on the other side. It's a power core? It's nowhere near as good as what we found in Deep Caverns. Mask fragments. You see fragments of what appears to be a realistic human face mask. Judging by its positioning, this could be some sort of console, but you have no idea how it would function since it has no obvious displays or controls. That's it. That's it, everyone. So we see that Tanner's face was fake. We see he seems to have some sort of device. This looks like some sort of cryo chamber to me. Maybe this is where he actually slept and recharged his powers or something of this sort. Looks like he was experimenting on some sort of chemicals in here as well. As you step out of the picture, you are startled to see Ezra staring at you. I see you have found something interesting. Damn it, Ezra. Don't do that anymore. We have an agreement. The corner of his lip twisted to a barely perceptible smile. Wait, did you know about this picture? No. And still calling it a picture seems rather inadequate based on what I have just seen. Tell me, Gabriel, what was on the other side of this portal? A small room with a status cell of some kind and 2 desks. There was a chemical set and a number of different chemicals there, along with what appeared to be mask fragments. The only response we receive from Ezra are a few slow nods. You know something, Ezra? The things you describe are familiar to me. Over the years, there were a few instances where I was able to peer into Tanner's mind. Faint shapes of what you described was what I saw. I was quickly expunged, however, in every one of these instances, so I know nothing of the purpose or meaning of those things. Tanner's disappearance is a mystery to me, as it is to you, Gabriel, and now I believe is the time to share your findings with the rest of the council. Let's go see them. As you were describing what you saw in Tanner's room, you could clearly make out expressions of growing astonishment on council members' faces. You finish, and with that the room instantly becomes noiseless, as if empty, until old Jonas speaks. And there it is. What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Weren't you listening, woman? This is the moment where we can finally sit down and discuss the man. If he even is a man at all, who's been a mystery to us all for all these years, yet we never dared speak about him. Whatever. I know we were all thinking the same of him. Yes. Tanner was a mystery, as you said. His appearance, his background, or lack thereof, and it's just his presence. He stood out, and it's something I felt as soon as I got here, but no one ever spoke about Tanner. Ever. He was a competent man, so I accepted things as they were. Well, Vera, it wasn't only you. I remember Tanner when he came to the station. I had hair and more teeth, and the epithet old was far from becoming stuck to my name. Tanner, he looked barely different than what he looks like now. Maybe it's because of that thing you saw in his room, Gabriel. Tanner barely aged. You people might not have noticed it as much, but I did. I felt the same as Vera, and as every single soul in this station. And for a good reason. Tanner was clearly hiding something from us, and a peek into his room, as revealing as it is, poses more questions than answers. He shrugs. I don't know, but at least we can now openly discuss Tanner. I do not disagree with anything said here. Our opinions do not differ. However, we need to focus on the reason now, or reasons, for his disappearance, and how that will affect Southgate Station. And Gabriel, I feel, has more things to reveal to us about him. Gabriel, you performed quite a few tasks for Tanner recently. Ever since he got here, Tanner's been sending him around. Do you know anything else we feel we should know? Now's the time to talk, Gabriel. Tell us what you know. We'll tell him the truth. The tasks Tanner gave me were all somehow connected to the mysterious object which was stolen from the Faceless, causing them to invade Core City and the rest of South Underrail. I have learned that the object is a powerful one, and Tanner wanted it for himself. All this has led me all the way to Deep Caverns, where I've seen it finally get returned to the Faceless. Are you trying to say that Tanner was the one responsible for the invasion? The story gets better and better, but what the heck is this object you're talking about? The object is a power source. I do not know what the Faceless are using it for, but it's definitely something important if they are willing to invade us for it. It is a polyhedron made from some unknown material. It had strange markings and what appeared to be sockets of some kind, which is probably how it is connected to whatever it's powering. Incredible. Tanner must have needed that device so badly he was willing to risk an all-out war with the Faceless. There is, however, the question of how he was able to steal it from the Faceless in the first place. Someone must have done it for him. But I don't know how the whole theft was accomplished. In any case, you mentioned you went all the way down to deep caverns. Tell us how it happened. The object somehow ended up in Cortex Research Facility, from which it was stolen by Chortists. After infiltrating their institute, the Faceless attacked, but the object had already been sent down into deep caverns, so I had no option but to follow it. Better and better. Would you stop that, Jonas? It seems like everyone wanted this object, including the Enigmatic Institute. Why did the Chortists send it to deep caverns? What do they have there? They had Chort. What is Chort? It is one ugly creature. One giant, disgusting, mutated mass of flesh with slimy tentacles sprouting from it. Everyone is silent, exchanging stares. I killed it, and returned the object to the Faceless. You got a real pair of mighty boulders between your legs. How do you even walk, son? Fascinating. You have seen amazing things in such a period of time, and you live to tell the tale. But this tale presents more questions than answers, and we still don't know who Tanner truly is. What he is going to do with the Faceless device, and where he is now. There is a thing or two I've learned that might shed some light on who Tanner really is. Do tell us, Gabriel. I've met this humanoid creature that calls itself Ra-Umbra. We've met in deep caverns for the first time, but it seems we're both involved in all these important events regarding the Faceless object. Can you describe it? It is a lean, tall, and about as tall as Tanner. It has a prosthetic arm and a leg. It wears a metallic-looking mask, and instead of eyes, has 4 lenses. One other striking feature is that the creature has 6 digits on each of its hands. As tall as Tanner. Mask. He is a powerful individual, even capable of things like instant teleportation. The technology it wields, sorry, I'm going with it for it because we don't really know if it's a guy or girl, or if it has a sex at all. The technology it wields is far more advanced than anything we've ever seen. Yeah, go on. It and Tanner seem to be of the same species, from what I understood. Ra-Umbra wants to assassinate Tanner, and it seems to have been trying to find him for a long time. Now that it has finally discovered him, Tanner slipped away and fled to North Underrail. So what you're trying to say is, Tanner has been posing as a human in order to hide from whatever the hell it is, assassin, and now bolted as soon as this Ram-Ember sniffed him out. Everything makes sense now. The Faceless object, Tanner's appearance, that status cell in his room, his departure. We still don't know what he's going to do with that gizmo, but I can bet the 5 hairs on my head is related to him not wanting to get zapped by his fellow kinsmen. Gentlemen, I think a long meeting is ahead of us. Thank you for everything, Gabriel. The rest of us have a long discussion ahead. You, on the other hand, might want to get some rest, some good rest. You've done more than enough. Afterward, you should come to my office. I will. And everyone, at this point, we have the choice. We could go back and talk to Vera, and I believe at that point, we will be given the option to join Southgate Station as one of their leaders, effectively taking over for Tanner or Gorski. Alternatively, we can do what I'm about to do instead. Go to the train and take it to North Underrail. Or take it to Core City, and then we jump on a train from there and take it to North Underrail, I suppose. That's what really happens. But we click on this, and we say, North Underrail. First let's go nowhere. Let's save the game as well. And off we go, everyone. So we're going to have a bunch of cutscenes similar to how the Fallout series does things. And then in the next episode, it'll probably be like 30 minutes to an hour or so, we'll talk about Underrail, we'll talk about Gabriel's build, I'll give a review on the game, and if you care about that sort of thing, hey, I'll see you next episode. If not, well, thank you guys for watching this. It's been fun to play through the game again. I originally wanted to play through the game a third time, actually, right after this one was done, but I think I'm going to give the game a rest for a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 years before we come back to it and play through it again. It takes me a long time to go through the game, some 90 or so videos, and I think I would like to play a different type of RPG. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see what endings we have earned, shall we? As before, and during the Faceless blockade, it was still business as usual in Junkyard. The balance of power between the Black Eels and Scrappers held. With piracy becoming decisively suppressed, the shipment of extracted old-world junk remained the town's largest source of income and ensured its survival in the foreseeable future. With both Burwers and the Rat Hound King out of the way, Hathorians extended their hunting grounds and grew their community. Though you took care of their Faceless problem, Rail Crossing's troubles had only just begun. Since they lost too many people during the Faceless attack, they had to seek help from the Protectorate. The train carrying the armaments, ammo, and general supplies eventually arrived safely, due to your help. This allowed them to survive multiple attacks mounted by the ironclad clans of the surrounding tunnels. They smelled weakness, but they were also weakened themselves. The absence of Baylor and his clan was quickly felt, and the Ironheads found that they were unable to penetrate the rail crossing defenses. The raids thus ceased after a few more demoralizing defeats. Peace and quiet, at least by South Underrail standards, finally returned to this weary station, but after being so close to eradication, Rail Crossing was faced with an important decision. To keep their independence and rely on themselves and the help of the other stations for security, or to integrate into United Stations and benefit from its protection. The decision has yet to be made. Oh, that's interesting. They didn't join the Protectorate. With the beast dead, Foundry was able to resume its production. Though economically prosperous and safe from outside threats, the city continued to suffer the same health hazards. As if that was not bad enough for the population numbers, people started just disappearing at an ever-increasing rate. None were found. Oh, we never turned in the girl! This went on for years. The disappearances got so frequent that an average of 1 person disappeared every week. Almost all were young men. Wow. Good for her. Then one day, the disappearances suddenly stopped. Life in Core City went on as before. Caged by the city's high concrete walls and mesmerized by violent entertainment, workers, merchants, bandits, zoners all struggled onward, while Ogliarchs played their shadowy games. People still flocked in great numbers to watch the arena, their thirst for blood never quite satisfied. The legend of Savage Mangler, a mysterious gladiator who came from nowhere and quickly rose to the title of Invictus, would live for years to come. Though they suffered a setback through the destruction of Eponilab, all major Protectorate's bases in the south from which they plotted and launched their offensive, both diplomatic and military, still stood. Their ambition to take control of all of South Underrail still burned strong. And with the free drones out of the way, their operatives had much easier time infiltrating and operating inside still independent communities of the region. The grisly fate of free drones haunted your nightmares until the day you died. Yeah, I was not proud of this. Really didn't want to do it. Once the Protectorate soldiers managed to crack the heavy gate and enter the Institute, they found none alive among the carnage. All the bodies of the dead faceless were gone, and all the Chortists lay where they fell. Except for one. Aiden's body was never found. Finally, killing Harmostavros left the remaining Rasiphors in disarray. After Chort was destroyed, they were swarmed by the rampaging Chortlings and slaughtered to the last. The Black Sea expedition struggled as soon as its ships sailed into all but forgotten waters. However, Aegis Incorporated's defenses did not give in. Slowly but surely, the Lemurian facilities were opened one by one, providing advanced technology, knowledge, and clues towards what would be revealed to be the expedition's ultimate goal, the Acorn. After its acquisition, it was time to leave, and all surviving personnel managed to leave the Black Sea safely and for good. In the beginning, since the expedition's arrival, the Grim Jetters mostly kept to their own part of the sea, waiting for the right time to strike. They did manage to launch a series of successful raids following the expedition's retreat, but then they suffered a swift and unexpected eradication, and with it, a great threat to South Underrail waterways was removed. That would be us. With the intruders gone, the life of the Sormirbrian returned to normal. Sormirbrian. Encouraged by their victory, they expanded further south into Grim Jitter's outlying territories. New ships were built, new weapons forged, and new warriors were raised for war. But the glowing canine not only marked a spot which they never went beyond, but one they never even dared approach. That would be the pillar where where that one gentleman had struck it with his pickaxe. The repairing of the generator improved the quality of life greatly in the Muti Refuge, and not only in a practical sense. The bright shining lights, it seemed, illuminated their views on their existence as well, and helped them reevaluate it. Oh wow, did they all spring back to life as well? Because I wiped out everybody on the first floor. And soon, a faint sense of hope began to spread across the refuge. Hey, see? We did a good thing by not letting ourselves get insulted by the guard out front. The acorn didn't remain in Professor Oldfield's possession for long, as it soon found itself in the hands of the expedition's benefactors. Oh, Hexagon, or Dis. Its whereabouts after that remains unknown. Oh, I thought it was stolen from them. At one point. Okay. Meanwhile, Todd found a new life on the ferryman's old ferry. His new fatherly figure raised him as his own until drawing his final breath years later. After cremating his body and thus sending its ashy remains high into the air above, Todd left the Black Sea. Having lost so much time carrying his burdens was not a concern for him, since he knew there was still plenty of time left for him to have a family. Hey, I hope things worked out for you, Todd. I really hope they did. Under Vera's leadership, Southgate Station fostered good relationships with the Protectorate and United Stations. Not long after, Southgate Station became an official part of United Stations. Not everyone was happy with the direction SJS took. Most of Gorski's followers and even some neutrals left the station, whilst Gorski himself denounced Vera and declared himself her enemy. As for yourself, you decided there were more important things in managing a station and that your destiny lies elsewhere. You boarded a train that took you far to the north to Hexagon, where you hoped you'd find Rum Umbra. Oh, my back. Having retrieved their precious artifact, the Faceless retreated back into the depths from which they came. You never discovered the purpose or meaning of the medallion they gave you. I thought Azif would surely know. Underrail. Alright everyone, thank you again for watching. If there's credits, we'll let them roll. If not, then that will do it for us. Alright, so I'm just gonna let the credits roll. There'll be no more talking from me in this episode, and I will see you all in the next part. Take care, everyone. Oh, and the next part, in case you didn't hear me earlier, that's all the credits. Alright, well that does it. Holy crap. So, if you guys are interested, the next video will be me reviewing Underrail Expedition, giving my thoughts on Gabriel's build, and that'll do it. Alright everyone, see you in the next part if you care about that stuff. Take care everyone, and thanks for watching. Oh, and if you don't care about that, thank you for watching Underrail Expedition with me, your host Tim again. It was a lot of fun to play through the game again, especially with a character that was so different from Gabriel. And the knowledge that I wanted to do this gave me the excuse to play characters who didn't have stealth and what have you. It was awesome. Holy crap, I can't believe how much different, yet still it feels fine to play through the game with a non-stealth character, at least in normal. Alright, I'm babbling. Thank you all for watching again, and I might see you in the next one. If not, take care everyone. Thank you for watching this playlist, or what you did watch, and I will see you maybe in another game. Take care everyone, and thanks again.